Hey listening friends, I'm your host and coach Laura Malone. As an entrepreneur and leader, wife and mom, teacher and creator, I am showing up to share possibility with you and help you find vision and wisdom because you deserve to be equipped and released as the hero of your own story. Coaching really does help you change your life. And if you want to know how to guide yourself and others well, I created this podcast just for you. It's a place where you can grab tools, teachings, and ideas for both personal and spiritual growth, as well as entrepreneurship and coaching if that's your thing. So as you listen in, I pray I can help you create a legacy of impact and really start writing the story of a life you love living. Now let's jump into today's episode. Okay, so you can be a coach, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be a coach that works for other people and not be an entrepreneur, or you can be the person who takes all the risk but gets all the gains. And a lot of people out there call this being a coachpreneur. And I want to talk to you a little bit about two things that are very popular in the recent years, and they are hustling as a business owner or flowing as a business owner. So there are so many people out there. You can see them all on Facebook, TikTok, everywhere, teaching how to be a hustle in business, right? There's memes and strategies and Instagram accounts and TikTok dances, and they tell you, go get after this and run harder and faster, and you can take over this space and you can win this, And if you were to ask a hustlepreneur what that means, they would define it as extreme ownership and mastering the skills of observation, identifying, and visionating. Willingness to do all the hard things first, right? Like that 11-minute ice bath. Sprinting towards the goal and pushing harder, never stopping, don't have any quit in you, being on task more than being busy, joining the competition with intention to come out the winner, and doing what others are not willing to do, being really like superhuman consistent, boldly attacking their fears, and being driven about getting results. Very success aware and action oriented and decisive and doing the thing when you don't feel like doing it, right? Very hustlepreneur language. If you go do any kind of research about hustle in business, these are the things you're going to find. Then there's a lot of people out there teaching about slowing down and somatic awareness and meditating before you jump into your plan for the day. And this is more of a be sensitive to the needs of your soul approach, right? So if you were to ask a soulpreneur, what's that mean to them? They would define it as very clear work-life balance, awareness of calling, not just career, searching for their wholehearted fulfillment and purpose, an allowance of originality, acceptance of uniqueness, believing in service over self, finding the spark in your soul, and operating with compassion towards self and others. Always evolving and expanding yourself, collaborating more than competing, calmly facing your fears, allowing the schedule to unfold, and pursuing joy and living in the present moment. So which one is right for you? I have to say, these sound like two extremely opposite personalities, right? And I've had clients and friends who exemplify both. But what I want to encourage you to do is try to see all of these qualities as valuable and accessible to everybody. And learn to let each of these qualities and values manifest in your life in the right timing, in the way you personally walk in them, okay? So no matter what you're doing as a coach or an entrepreneur or in every other area of your life, there's time for hustle and there's time for flow. You personally might be more driven to take real action if you have the urgency and deadlines and strong encouragement and accountability to go faster and do everything you need to get done. Or maybe you're in a season where it's normal to hustle and you need to find the balance of finding freedom and flow and staying in, a sweet spot and finding peace. All of that is really just between you and God, not you and the account on Facebook that you're scrolling past that tells you to click here to learn more about how you can make $7 million in the next 6 months if you hurry, right? So do you need to hear a voice telling you there's a purpose to getting up earlier and pushing past the hard stuff? Is God leading you into some hustle energy right now to keep you going in the afternoon and overcome those difficult tasks, maybe even difficult clients? Or are you in a place where you need the slow mornings and the slight nudge in business because the rest of life is crazy and God's saying, don't add to it, don't push harder? Is grace the right word for this season? And hustle would simply erase it, right? You have to know where you're at and what you need, because it doesn't matter what anybody else is needing. It doesn't matter what they're teaching. This is why I say put your blinders on, choose the few people you're going to learn from, choose the content you're going to consume, get your one tree focus, and stay in that lane and get to the next place before you start adding more voices and adding more things. So I think the most important answer to this question is, should I be hustling or flowing as a coachpreneur? It's for you to be aware of yourself. Know that your season changes, and also know that not everybody else is where you're at. A little hustle never hurt anybody, and meditation is good for everyone. So there's no reason to be for one and against another. And honestly, let me be your coach for a second. Let me be a teacher and an encourager. The more areas of your life where you're using energy against things drains from you all of the energy you need for the areas you need to be for. Okay? So the more areas of your life you're using energy to be against something drains you of the energy you need to be for something. Do you hear me? That applies across the board. Decide what you're for and stop living from a perspective of everything you're against, right? Get vision for the horizon and stop focusing on the shore you're paddling away from. So maybe you're in a Facebook group made up of hustling women, right? Hustlepreneur women, but you're also in a Facebook group with soul-sensitive seekers, right? Who cares? Can't you just be where you need to be today without anything or anybody being labeled right or wrong? Just get what you need, leave the judgment out, don't let it drain you. Let there be fruit to find wherever you go, and let the people who are passionate about being in those places simply be. That's not yours to do. I think that there are seasons when you should challenge yourself and really hustle to get moving and get results. I've done this when I'm trying to create a course or an offer and I want to get it out in the world ASAP. And sometimes I paint myself into a corner to get things done because the sense of urgency and the deadline and the drive can really help me take actions on things that otherwise I'd be procrastinating about. But at other times I sense God telling me, take it slow and steady and let myself follow a flow. Be more sensitive to what my soul needs right now. Give myself grace. Don't push so hard. If you love the hustle, then you're going to still have to learn how to create balance and take a rest. And if you love the free flow, you still have to learn how to balance that with quick movements and decisions and action when it's necessary. There's a lot of people out there teaching on all of it. So just do a search for, online or in Facebook groups for hustle in business, hustle entrepreneur. That's how those kinds of people get stuff done. That's who they are. It's what works for them. So that's what they have to offer you. And it's great stuff. I really glean a lot from learning that, but I know how to apply it and contextualize it to my own life. They're not telling me I have to do this and I need to be like them. I'm just absorbing what they have to offer and adding it where I want to apply it to my own life and my business. Then there's the soul-sensitive types that they really appreciate the individual movement and awareness that works for them, usually focusing on like holistic growth and holistic, what's the right word, holistic attention and intention, I would say. So they all find the place that feels aligned for themselves. Personally, I think that if you become aware of how each of these can serve you in the right timing, you will grow in knowledge of when you need them. Then you can discern for yourself what you need and allow those people to bring what they carry and value to the table. I'm just encouraging you to be non-judgmental about other people's personality, callings, and needs. And when you find yourself kind of judging other people in that, become aware that you're very likely just judging yourself first and foremost. So what's the answer for you right now? You want to become or grow as a life coach, and you either need to stay in a flow season of just letting it all make its way towards you, or you need to roll up your sleeves, take some decisive action, and have a sense of urgency. So which one's right for you? Which one is working against you? And I'll also say, which one are you afraid of and why? So you can pull on all of the aspects I listed about hustlepreneurship and soulpreneurship and implement them in your life. Then you can lean in and allow the qualities and responsibilities of entrepreneurship just take whatever form they need to. Because honestly, I see each aspect as a quality we all need to grow in. You can focus on the right thing at the right time and find your way in it and become successful doing it the way that you are being led to do it, right? I've posted things online or given direction in a coaching program or encouraged clients to take action towards, especially like towards the end of a quarter or the end of a year. And I have heard some of them say, I appreciate that, but God's actually told me to lean into slow grace right now. So I'm not going to hustle. And I say, great. I'm so glad that you're aware of that. I consider the fact that you may not, you might not even have known you needed to be slowing down until you heard me say, give it a little extra hustler, like push and go grab your goals, guys. And then you go, oh, that's not right for me, and I'm like, I'm glad to help you see that that wasn't right for you. And now you're more aware of what is right for you, right? It's that thing where somebody says, let's go to Hardee's for lunch. And you're like, I didn't know that I didn't want Hardee's till you mentioned it. And that actually made me realize I really want Chick-fil-A, right? So I always think it's funny when they put a Hardee's or an Arby's next to Chick-fil-A. I don't know about where you live, but there's never a line there, and Chick-fil-A has the line is like stuck out on the highway. I'm like, I feel bad for you guys at Arby's, but you're probably getting lunch at Chick-fil-A. Sorry. And I apologize to any of you who love Arby's or Hardee's, but even if you eat there, go get some Chick-fil-A sauce for your fries. Okay. The same thing has happened when I've said to clients, okay, step back, be gentle with yourself, really assess what's going on between your business, your soul work, all of that, And then I'll have a client say, well, I'm always gentle, and right now I feel the need to push and get, strong accountability and be driven. And I'm like, awesome. Everything that I say, I'm just throwing stuff out there saying like, hey, let's remember to do both. Let's remember to push when we need to push, be gentle with yourself, and you need to apply whatever you learn from whoever you're learning from, whoever is encouraging you and keeping you accountable, coaching you, teaching you, it doesn't matter. Apply it to yourself with good, strong self-leadership. You don't have to do everything you're told. You need to actually have critical thinking skills where you're thinking for yourself. I'm not wanting to tell you what to think. I'm wanting to teach you how to think for yourself so you can lead yourself well and find success there. I honestly move between both hustle and flow in probably every area of my life. Some seasons are, I would say my personality is more given to flow, and I have to actually encourage myself to hustle when my business needs me to. Because when you're an entrepreneur, it's not always about you. Shocker of the day. Sometimes you want to flow, but your clients or your business require you to start hustling a bit, right? You have to show up for your people, and you have to show up in your business, and you have to become committed and get out of your feelings and push through sometimes. You have to learn that sometimes when you feel you need to slow down and give yourself grace, you might have to appropriate that into other areas of your life, not necessarily the business side, because the business side is going to ask a lot of you if you start your own and run it for yourself, especially in the beginning when you don't have money coming in and you don't have a team, you don't have an assistant, you don't have somebody doing marketing, you don't have somebody building your website, you got to wear all of the hats. So that is a place where you can set some boundaries and say, I hustle from this time to this time. I hustle this day to that day. I don't have social media on my phone. I have a separate phone for social media and work things that only gets turned on Monday through Friday from 8 to 4. Whatever you need to do, you can put flow into some of your life and hustle into others. And then sometimes you're going to find yourself on the other side of the spectrum wanting to hustle and hurry and feeling really good about it. Like, this is who I am, this is what I want to do. But you're going to hear Holy Spirit whispering to you, come aside, rest, lean in, let me do the heavy lifting, be more gentle right now with yourself, right? So let God lead you in the way that's most fruitful for you right now in this season. And sometimes that is just a day or a week season. And allow it to change based on the season and the needs you have in it. Let the ebb and the flow of entrepreneurship needs show you how to lead yourself and follow God, because it's going to work out. And Isaiah 30:21 says, this is the way, walk in it. Just listen to him. Let him show you what the way to walk in really is for you. Now, I want to remind you to get on the wait list for the Called to Coach Creative Mastermind, because I'm literally waking up in the middle of the night so excited about it and dreaming with God about all the things we can do together in this mastermind. I'm going to be sharing more about it in the upcoming episodes, but for now, just jump into the show notes and click on the link to sign up, or you can go to sterlingandstonementoring.com and find the wait list under the Good Things tab, okay? I hope to see you there. Bless you, and remember that all things are possible. I so appreciate you as a listener. And if you are looking for a community of like-hearted believers who love all things coaching, be sure to jump into the Christian Life Coach Collective Facebook group. Do you think you might be called to become a certified Sterling and Stone Life Coach? Well, learn more about the Greenhouse course, where you can get trained in just 10 weeks to start building the foundation of your coaching practice. All the links you need are in the show notes. Happy story making!